Molweni Sanbonani, and welcome to another segment of Global Workers Parliament, the platform where we address, again, as I always say, the volatile monster, which is employer-employee relations. I'm always accompanied by my people, as I call them. I'm always accompanied by the great experts, Mr. Vilakazi and Mr. Dube. How are you guys today?
Siyaphila siphinde sibingelele kuleli thuba elihle angake silitholayo lokuzodinga indaba zabasebenzi.
Awungichazi mawusubonga ithuba mfethu ungathi hey.
Sibonga ithuba. Siya namukela nonke babukeli kwi Global Workers Parliament. Sicela nikhuleke ningabuza noma yini lapha kule panel nayo yonke into noma yini.
Yeah, so we've been doing this for about 4 weeks running now. So we are now at a space where comfortability should be, should be our thing. So V, when are you taking the holiday, man? When are you taking a holiday to the Maldives?
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi this coming September nabatwana bami so sithi phaizi intaba zase Drakensberg lapha siyobona ukuthi kuhamba kanjani lapha ngicathi namakhaza zobe sithe kwehla.
When we are in eGoli Maldives ngiyazi nje.
Mina okwami ngilinde nje ukuxoshwa la ekhaya khona ngizobuya. Ngihlale ngapha la
uzocomplaina khona la.
Ngicela iGlobal ingilwele. Against iGlobal.
Nomphathi iGlobal.
Ingilwele against iGlobal. Angikwazi ukudlala iGlobal kanje. Nani nisho ukuthi thina nje keGlobal. Sizimisele ukukulwela
against iGlobal kade sababona.
So ngivivile ngifuna umange engaxoshwa nje. Xosha mina uyayazi kahle iGlobal wena. Ngibuza yona.
All right, so today, as always, we're joined by a guest, someone who is coming to Global Workers Parliament and saying, hey, I have a problem with my employer and I feel like you guys can best help me to address this issue. We are joined by Ms. Dudu Mpisane, and like I always do, I'm just going to pass the floor to Ms. Mpisane and I'm going to allow her to, one, tell us about who she is, where she comes from, ne former employer yake, and then also just tell us why you came to Workers' Parliament and how you would like us to assist you.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguDudu Mpisane. Bengisebenza kaSpa St George's. Bayibiza ngeKhayo Investment igama elisha. Okuhlukile ngami thina saqosha saba u25 eSpa. But before nje ngisho ukuthi like saqoshelwane kwaqale kwazwakala ukuthi ingathi kuphela icontract yesitolo lapha ya St George's. Emva kwalokho khona kunemali bekade sinikezwa yona ekuthiwa ibizwa nge-charge account. I-charge account imali obokwazi ukuthenga ngayo like mase kuzophela inyanga bomhla ka-2021 kanje uthenga nge-clock number yakho. Leyo clock number leyo mali leyo ibanjwa mase kuphela inyanga. Babe sebeyayidonsa emholweni. Akukho la kwabhalwa khona ukuthi like awukwazi ukudayisela ama-customer ukuthi like uma udinga ucash customer elithenga ngocash ungalidayisela. Ayikho into eyabhala. Into esanikezwa yona ukuthi awukwazi ukuthenga ngayo tops, awukwazi ukuthenga ikhadi likagesi. Ilokho esakunikezwa. But ukuthi sidayise sithole ucash into eyenza ukuthi size singenele ekutheni sixoshwe ukuthi bese sidayisela ama-customer like mase ungasenayo imali yokugibela ngoba beseyize yaqala u600 yagcina bese 1000. So bekwazi ukudayisa u500 udayisela icustomer likunikeze lo cash low bese uthola imali yokugibela. Lo munye u500 ukwazi ukuthi uthenge ngawo lo 500. So kwakhona imanager ebase living. Lo manager leyo yasicela ukuthi yenzelwe usupervisor ucash ingekho emsebenzini. Lo munye usupervisor shuthi abesebona lo owenzela lo munye. Amene owenzela le manager yona le charge account uyenzela ucash ayikho emsebenzini. lo owase waceba le manager ke ngomunye usupervisor uzenza ngcono endiyeni uyasho ukuthi kuno supervisor osibanibani odayisele charge account wadayisela umanager thizeni wamdayisela imali engekho emsebenzini kwase kwasho ukuthi lo wangakwazi ukuthula ke lo otsheliwe watshela uHR kwase kwavela kanjalo ukuthi isitolo sonke vele siyayenza lento thina siyazi icala into esaziyo sazi ukuthi ayithenge tops ayikwazi ukuthenga ngayo ikhadi kwavela ukuthi vele isitolo sonke siyayenza siyakwazi ukuyidayisa le mali sithola ucash ngayo siyakwazi ukuthi siphinde sithenge ngayo futhi like lokuza khona esitolo kwase kwathiwa ke senzile icala ngalokho kuyicala sabizela iNdiya nje thizeni ukuthi siye kwi-inquiry sasayina leyo maphepha lawo ngicathi mhlawumbe like njengokuthi nje uzosayina ngolesine ngoMonday usuthola mhlawumbe like ngoMonday noma ngolesibili usuyaxoshwa njalo kodwa unikezwa ngawarning final warning sase saqoshwa nje kanje but kwase kuvele sekubonakala namandiya esemunce engasakhombisi nje ukuthi base kwase kubonakala ukuthi vele siyizinto nje vele exoshwayo
amaphepha which they're making you sign la abansayinisa wona what is the content of amaphepha athini at the form of well, it's not a warning
ayibhalwe njengabantu abayigebengu abenzile icala lokuthi senzile ubugebengu
sengisho ukuthi umuntu nomuntu wayenelakhe next
umuntu nomuntu wayenelakhe sibizwa kancane kancane nje bedrooms
mhlawumbe ke uma senisayinile ngisho ukuthi mangathiwa nje uwele uvilakazi nanguvilakazi ubanjwa enza lento usebanjiwe wenza lento le wasi company yasimfaka icala noma kwa assume ukuthi okay lento engathi niyenza nonke ozani lana sisayine ngoba into kanjani mhlawumbe usilandise kuleyo ndawana ukuthi bayakubamba bathawu nangu usisdimpisane enza le fraud le noma ngabe yini abayibiza ngayo sesimbambile mhlawumbe kuma camera sesithi uzosayina noma babona ukuthi okay lento engathi bonke abantu bayenza khona banibambaphi
ukuvela kwayo ngithi iqale yavela lapha kwi-manager edayisa charge account ingekho okwesibili kwase kuyavela ukuthi yenziwe kubani le charge account lo bedayisela waxoshwa lo cashier lo okwesibili kwase kuvela thina ke manje
ukuthi sonke siyayenza noma nivela vela lapha ukuthi niyakwenza
I think lo umbuzo kaVilakazi if I'm understanding it correctly ukuthi if wena wawuyiphika nje uthi hayi angiyenzi uzazi ukuthi uyayenza if wawuyiphika uthi hayi angiyenzi what proof did they have to come and say naku wayenza ngo1 no 2 no 3 because lo asebemxoshayo they have proof yokuthi no uyayenza and this is the proof
angithi like kuphuma ilip khona islip osayinayo esisala ngakwena kube sekuba khona islip esisalayo esakheshi lezo ilip lezo ziyaboshwa zibe into eyodwa izona lezi ezisiceba ukuthi la uyayidayisa la uyakwazi uthenge impahla la kuyabonakala
okay so ke bese solo ukuphula bese siya kule ndawana leyo ukuthi isikhathi le mali niyabolekwa sisho ukuthi company uma ithi kunalento le oyishoyo niyayikhokha back noma imali nje niyiphiwa ecompany
iyadonsa makuphela inyanga
so nina niboleka imali kodwa niyatshela ukuthi nisebenzise kanjani uma senisebenzisile bese kuba icala futhi mase uyisebenzise ngendlela icompany engafuni ukuthi uyisebenzise ngayo okusho ukuthi kahle kahle umthetho uphuke ekutheni nemholweni wakho wena kunemali ocompulsory ngayo ukuthi ithenga kaSpar yileyo nto ozama ukuyiveza
iyona lebizwa nge-charge account
mhlawumbe mina uma bengabuza umbuzo othi imigomo yokuthi le mali isenjiswa kanjani ngabe kukhona la ibhalwe khona phansi wonke umsebenzi osebenza e-store kaSpar aware ukuthi no le mali isebenza kanje noma ulwazi lwenu other than into oyishile eqaleni ethi le mali uthenga ngayo igrocery bese ukuthi omunye umgomo wayo ukuthi awuthengi otops futhi awuthengi etwaleni nogesi
so
lo mgomo usho lokho kuphela
did they underline properly so
to say ukuthi like ifanele uyidayise shuthi isono sethu icala lethu ile lokuthi thina besidayisa but akukho la kwavezwa khona ukuthi masingayidayisi. Thina kwavela kuthini ukuthi ngoba ugesi awukwazi ukuthenga ngayo ungakwazi ukwenza ucash kuma customer ukuyokwazi ukuthenga ugesi lapha ekiosk. Bese siyenze kanjalo.
Mhlawumbe umbuzo wami uzothi omunye beni aware nje abasebenza ukuthi anikwazi le mali ukuyiconverter ibe ucash.
No.
So akekho umuntu okanjela cha ilokhu kuphela uma uyiconverter iba ucash sekuyicala lokho.
No, akukho esakubhalelwa phansi ukuthi like uzoba icala.
Because I see, and just to perhaps interject, I see where you're coming from, JV, with the line of questioning, Yako, is if perhaps maybe the company didn't make them knowledgeable of the fact that they can't use it in this manner, they then can't accuse them of appreciation thereof of wrongdoing because they didn't know what they were doing wrong. But I also see where this might have been a problem for the company because let's just take hypothetically umuntu who buys something with their charge account or has that thing charged on them, but might say a customer maybe we fag him a cup or whatever, or sells it at a different price. They are ideally taking a business from the company. Two, ideally companies want to generate profits as much as they can, right? And I would imagine that from this amount which they borrow you, they imagine that they generate profit. So if you are then going to say, with your charge account, uzothengisa a customer isingwa, uthathe leyo mali and go and buy bread at Woolworths, do you see what now they are losing imali which they were hoping to make from you because bona they thought you're going to use your charge account uthenga isingwa, the client is going to come in and buy bread, so at least 2 loaves of bread. So I see where it could be a problem, but the question is what then UJV is asking is,
because
did they underline?
Ayikho fair ngoba phela uma mina ngisebenza eglobal bengikholele eglobal abakwazi phela ukungibamba ngokuthi kufanele kube khona imali ethize emholweni wami esebenza la ekhaya or else ngizoxoshwa then angisasa sengiyislave kuleyo ndawo ngoba sengibanjwe ngomthetho ukuthi uma awukwazi ukuthi unginyusele ngizokunyusela umholo ngo200 kodwa uzosebenza kumina lo 200 akuyona kumholo wami lo what if angithanda ukuthenga ngomholo wami ngifuna ukube
Yeah, no, but remember it's not a matter of saying from your standard salary you are bound to use maybe 1,000 rand or 2 rand from that salary. It's not a nature like that. What they are doing is they are applying a profit maximization strategy, but they are painting it to umuntu as something that is good as us helping you, whereas that's just their way of ensuring that you get to buy more from them. So I have no problem with that strategy. I just want to find out, is there a proper understanding?
Ngifuna ukungena la ngoba kunalento abayibiza ngokuthi ukuze umuntu umthole guilty ngokwenza icala elithile kunalento abayibiza kwi-Labor Relation Act ukuthi lapha ukukhuluma ngo-Schedule 8 in knowledge of the rule. Uma ulalila kahle uthi into esuse wonke lo msindo imanager izamkwenza lonto leyo. So umanager uthatha nje umuntu owazi amapolicy ofundisekile oqeqeshekile. So kumina ngiyeza iangle ethi it means wayona imanager bingawazi bana awe ufumthetho ngoba angilindele ukuthi imanager yenze into enjalo yazi kahle ukuthi iyiqala. So it means ngenze ukuthi abasenzi babengazi genuinely ukuthi na lokho abakwenzayo converter ilokuzana le charge account ibe ucash na yonke kuyiqala. So ke umuntu ke kufanele ukwazi ukuthola ukuthi ngempela umqeqeshile uyazi ngamayimazi noma or to be aware ukuthi lokho akwenzayo kuyiqala. Uma ubala abasenza bawu22 bonke benza into efanayo kuze kungene imanager ikutshela ukuthi ngase kwenzeka ukuthi kuno lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding of ama roads company okwenza abasenzi benze lonto le.
And you could find that perhaps which is what I think was the most probable case here. What happened is perhaps this was just an oversight on their side, you know, when they created policies which regulate EU CL charge accounts, they had an oversight of that specific factor. They didn't mention that into the regulations. And instead of now saying, asilungise lento esasingayifakanga esasingayicacisanga siyicacise, they are now fixing that oversight at the cost of employment yabantu who abanga 22, 25. So to unemploy to fire 25 people because of an oversight on your side is really, to just say the least, unscrupulous, if you may. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I think what we're also going to have to do as a Global Workers Parliament is we just want to ascertain if there was a proper underlying and conscientization of workers about this specific regulation within that policy or that specific provision within the policy. And if it's a matter of that did not exist, then only then I think we would say Ugutu Sisi has a very strong case and a strong argument to make.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe siyamthanda lapha enye into efanele siyibheke ukuthi because ngicabanga ukuthi akuyodwa uSPAR owenza lento ye-charge account, ngicabanga ukuthi bo Shoprite nakwezinye into abayayenza mhlawumbe efanele sibheke ukuthi universally mhlawumbe in terms of ukusebenza kwezitolo ethini ipolicy around the issue ye-charge account, because ngicabanga ukuthi basebenzisa imithetho ecishisifane. Ngicabanga ukuthi ku-investigation yethu ezinye izinto sizoyithola lezo. And two, I think kuzofanele ukuthi ke hlale phansi nabaqashi bakwaSPAR si-check ukuthi ngabe abasenzi baqeqeshwe kanganani ukwazi ukuthi uma usuwenze lokhu ngale mali kakhulu lokho kwemali eshintshwayo ibo cash uyicala and kuyicala serious kangakanani.
Yeah.
Ngicabanga ukuthi iyona ndlela yodwa esingasolva ngayo lesimo, ngoba uma abasebenzi benga-understandiswa ngamanje, okusho ukuthi there's a possibility ukuthi khona umunye uSPAR ozophinde abantu abaningi abazophinde belahlekelwe umsebenzi ngenxa yokuthi ayikho i-clear understanding yale mali ukuthi ama-limits ayahamba agcinephi. So kubalekile impela ukuthi isheshe ilungiswe so that izokwazi ukuthi igcine esigabeni esikahle. Okusho ukuthi-ke mhlawumbe into yokuqala ukuthi sasikubongela ukuthi utholile ithuba lokuthi uze la ekhaya, ngoba umsebenzi wethu la ekhaya asikwazi ukukhululeka thina uma abasebenzi bengakhululekile. Kukhona izinto abangagculisekile ngazo. Sinethemba futhi lokuthi yonke into efisayo izohamba bempumelelo through i-global.
All right.
Parliament.
I think there should be an intentional underlying of our company policies to the workers by our companies or their management representatives. It should be one of their immediate courses of action, if you may. It should be one of the immediate courses of action, immediate concerns to say, do all of our employees understand our policies? And take into account that when you are employing our employees at any degrees, or at any level, there's always going to be a nuance, if you may, to how people understand our company policies. And these could be as a result of a language barrier. These could be as a result of just not having a contextual understanding of the particular policies. So when you employ someone, you really want to map out even the smallest things so that you as a company, if you may, or an employer can easily say this was mapped out and the employee consented to the understanding. So I think with that, as you've mentioned, we as a Global Workers Parliament are going to really just invest in looking at the facts of the matter. We're going to take it forward, obviously, by engaging the employer and the necessary pieces of law which sort of protect Usisi and protect her rights in this regard. And then, so another thing which I've been failing to mention, and I know you guys are going to be shocked by this, I've been failing to mention to you guys that what we do here is, after we've engaged the employer and we've engaged the remedial actions, we will then be doing a feedback segment, if you may, where we come back and just give you guys feedback on each of the individual cases that we have here, how we've engaged them, what are the solutions that we came up with. And again, we'd really just appreciate commentary from you guys. Tell us how you would like us to perhaps expand our engagement platform. Engage us on our social media platforms. engage us on the comment section here on our page. And as I mentioned, subscribe. Now I am going to move to our final reflections part. I will start with you, V, today. What are your final reflections?
Ngifuna nje ukukhuthaza kakhulu kubantu bakithi ukuthi before uthatha i-opportunity oyithola emsebenzini engathi nawe ungayilandelela yonke into so that uma i-company sikujikela isiyibuyisa kabi kuwena lento ukwazi ukuthi uyimele. Bese futhi okwesibili uma kukhona into ozoyisayina ungayi-understandanga kahle no singasheshi ukusayina izinto uma singakabi nolwazi oluphelele ngoba i-company ayikwazi ukukuxoshela ukuthi unqaba ukusayina ngoba unelungelo ukuthi into ozoyisayina yonke into nje uma ngathi usayina kuphi kodwa aqala uyi-understand into ozoyisayinela so that uzokwazi ukuthi uma i-company ixoshela ukuthi awusayinanga kube ukuthi vele ubunga-understand kunokuthi sikhuluma indaba ukuthi ngoba kwesinye isikhathi bayakwazi ukusayinisa into ethi uyazihoxisa wena ekusebenzini lekhaya ngenxa ukuthi kunento kanje uma sekufanele iyoliwa leya nto kube ngathi wena wazibophezela wayikhipha wena emsebenzini ingabisakwazi ukuthi i-case yakho ibe strong so kubalekile ukuthi mangabe khona ufuna ukuyisayinela uyi-understand eqala ngokuphelele uma ungagculisekile uyimise until uzuyi-understand kahle before size sikwazi ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi kuze kufike esigabeni sokuthi bayaxosha noma baxoshi yeah.
Ngicabanga ukuthi enye into esemqoka kakhulu lapha kubaqashi ukuthi abasebenzi kufanele ukuthi uma kunemigomo ebekiwe ibekwe icace ukuze kungabi bikho ama grey areas boss uma ubheka kahle ngendlela usisi uDudu achaza ngayo kuyacaca ukuthi khona izinto ezazi specific but khona izinto at the same time as a grey area abasebenzi abangena kuzona bathi ngoba lento ayimenitioniwe la but egcina ukusuku uma umsebenzi sengenile lo grey area uthatha lonke iphutha uzolithwesa umsebenzi but awusabuki nawe indima njengomqashi bofanele uyidlale and ensuring ukuthi abasebenzi yonke imithetho bayi-understanda njengoba injalo ubanikeza ithuba lokuthi bebuze uyayi-workshopper so that uma ukuthi kunama grey areas athile ekwazi ukulungiseka because lento igcina isifana ne-trap uma ulalela abasebenzi abawu-22 it's too many labasebenzi banabatwana abantu abaningi abasebenza ezitolo kuvama ukuthi kube ngomama noma kungosisi bethu othothi nemali abayihola imali encane kakhulu ukuze bekwazi ukubeka ukudla phezulu kwetafula umuzo nabasebenza abawu-22 abaphela umsebenzi kwisimo se-unemployment esingaka eSouth Africa uzokwandisa ubupha uzokwandisa ukulapha ngento encane ubengafana uyilungisile kanye nabasebenzi in terms of covering onke ama areas esibiza ukuthi ama grey areas sicabanga ukuthi abaqashi nabo bazofunda ukuthi lezi zinto fanele beyilungise ngoba akumnandi ukubona abasebenzi abaningi bexoshwa emsebenzini kwisimo so msebenzi esivele sibheda kangaka eMzansi neAfrica siyabonga.
Yazi, I was going to base my final reflections on employee responsibility and just ensuring that employees do not find themselves caught up in the work culture, which does not translate to a constitutional culture of whatever agency that employs them. And I still stand by that. I believe it's very important that if the contract says we start work at 8 and others decide, no, let's start at 8:30, you don't form part of the employee culture. Rather, you become the black sheep, if you may, of the employee demographic. But just follow the work culture and ensure that whatever culture you're following sort of translates to the constitution and the mandate which is underlined by your contract. But UJV raises a very, very important point, which I almost forgot. And you raised this point by mentioning that 25 people were fired, and this was just done with a sort of ease. It shows that many companies continue to think that workers are inconsequential and invaluable and can be easily replaceable. And one of the things that diminishes employee morale is when employees are made to feel as though you are easily replaceable. We can have another you by tomorrow. It is very important to reassure the presence of workers and their contribution and the value which you associate with their contributions. And with that, guys, we have come to the end of another segment. As I mentioned, please subscribe. If you would like to engage with us more, you can engage with us on our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I would say I'm going to go and swim, but this is Durban and it's winter, so it's rainy now. But until next week, keep safe, guys, and thank you very much for joining us for this segment.